Hutton Orbital Radio, the only radio station to give you time off for good behaviour.
British Food Fortnight is a big deal on Hutton. It's no surprise really, given the large number of locals on the station who can trace their ancestors back to the old countries of the UK. The traditional fare includes fish and chip variants, along with a selection of breakfasts, including a full English, an oyster fry, and eggs Benedict to cater the pretentious a-hole community. Since the galaxy-wide ban on cheese came into place, the Welsh Quarter have been working on a substitute for their Welsh rarebit. So far, this involves dyeing latex yellow and melting it with a blowtorch. Grim as this may seem, I am assured that it's still better than vegan cheese. Layer bread is also on sale since there's still a lot left over from last year. Well, all of it really. Scottish haggis, square sausage and Scotch pies are all on the menu, but deep-fried Mars bars have been banned after someone burnt their hand trying to get the wrapper off. There's soda bread boxties and more seaweed snacks in the form of dulse. The layer bread doesn't look so bad now, does it? Oh wait, no, layer bread does still look horrible. The English quadrant presents us with such treats as the Scotch egg, Buckfast tonic wine, toad in the hole, now made with real toads, Yorkshire pudding with gravy, and a cheeky Nando's. Thargoids have put on a special menu, offering such delights as the Worcestershire sauce McStiffy, pizza crunch nuggets, Tato fries, which have a competition to win a trip to Tato Land to meet Mr. Tato, and Glamorgan sausage in a bun. As Nurse Wyeth diligently prepares the infirmary for a busy few days, the ancient tannoy crackles to life, and a voice says,
"Our mics are live!" Good evening, and, well, I'm still colouring in some bits I forgot to colour in on the script, but I might have to do that while I'm trying to read my bit, which is going to add... Oh, no, it won't. It'll be fine. Welcome to another Hutton News broadcast.
And the other bits.
Yes, we can't forget the other bits.
Yeah, sticking them together is where we got all the seams from.
Seams? Oh, I would say I see no seams, but judging by what I've just spotted further down in the script, help! Someone who's not reading, go and find it. It's in number 2. Right, I see no seams whatsoever, I think. Anyway, on with the news headlines. An arm and a leg for vintage suits.
Overdriving docking bay shocker.
We don't need no guns.
Balaclava lad marketeers pull wool over Galnet Digest's eyes.
And we rub the sleep from our eyes as we stare at the Hutton Systems update.
First, this evening, we bring you news of an ongoing investigation into the vintage goods racket being perpetrated by none other than the Pilots Federation itself. Normally better known for being the power behind the galaxy, the Pilots Federation, as many do, has a bit of a side hustle. Not content by being the managing agents for the pilots of the Pilots Federation and the deciding authority for everything from whether a galactic superpower is allowed to expand to uninhabited systems, to what new ships are going to be licensed by the various manufacturers, they are also behind the virtual currency known as ARCs. ARCs, as many pilots know, are handed out over and above all of the cash rewards, kitten videos and engineering materials for doing stuff around the galaxy, plus can be bought from the Pilots Federation for real credits. Historically, ARCs have been used to pay for new paint or slinky new decals for your ship kits and of course fuel additives that turn your space trails purple, as well as buying yourself a new voice for your cockpit. In recent years, they've also been used as a means to buy yourself new outfits. It should be noted at this point that you're not buying the outfit itself, but instead upgrading your existing hard-earned Dominator suit to look a little different from everyone else's. And in a shock move earlier in the year, these ARCs can now be used to buy yourself a fully fledged kitted out ship, prefabricated with all the gubbins and internals, as well as the externals you need to dip your toe into exploration or anti-Xeno combat. What has been noticed recently, however, is the pricing of vintage items. Namely the kinds of spacesuits that are normally accompanied by a robot that's waving its arms and shouting, "Danger, Will Robinson!" while a comedy food mixer attachment spins at the side of its head. The kind of suit that has a dome over your noggin. Okay, so you could get yourself a pumpkin-shaped helmet for Halloween or a wide-brimmed hat for that Star Wars bounty hunter vibe, but the biggest discrepancy we've noticed in the store is the vintage suit. Normally recovered from crashed ships from the pre-Supercruise era, then retrofitted with your own survival equipment, the suit and suit facilities, to suit, these vintage suits are sold as nearly new, for the princely sum of 25,500 ARCs. Or to put it into perspective, that's the same as a fully pre-built starship, or a bit more than a Type 8. When we inquired as to the pricing with the Pilots Federation, their spokesperson said, "Well, these suits are hard to come by. Starships are 10 a penny and mass-produced on production lines that Henry Ford would be proud of, but your own vintage spacesuit from the golden era of Technicolor TV shows, flying saucers and Mekon invasions, that's a slice of history you're wearing there. Just upgraded to be compatible with modern spaceflight and tailored to each and every one of your customers." Our customers. While we are fans of handcrafted goods and the retro look, we did ask that whether, despite their handcrafted nature, anyone would believe that as much work goes into them as there is put into a new Python Mark II. "Oh, well, the Python Mark II could be assembled by robotic production lines. Our vintage suits are hand-sewn by only a handful of experts throughout the galaxy. The skills are dying out. Plus, of course, there's inflation." Of course, the obvious question as to why inflation would affect one thing they sell and not the rest was answered by, "Oh no, not that kind of inflation. We mean suit inflation. The system that keeps a suit looking puffy in all conditions, atmospheric and airless, and in a variety of gravitational environments. That's some clever stuff, that is. Involves special suit-mounted fans and valves. Get it wrong, and you look like you're selling tyres or about to attack buildings in New York." So, there you go. Nearly new vintage handmade spacesuits. Would you swap your new Python Mark II for one of them? Probably not. But if you've got money to burn and are a dedicated follower of fashion, you too can look like you're on the cover of the Wonder Story Annual.
In news a little closer to home, our very own Commander Flossy had a near-miss incident in the last few days when arriving back from one of her usual rocket launcher parties at a nearby settlement in the company of Commanders Rampage and the Hutton Ninja Mojo Dojo Casa House. Rampage and the following ships stared in wonder at Flossy on final approach through the toast rack, ready for docking and handing in their well-earned mission completed tickets, suddenly exclaimed,
"Oh heck!"
Whereupon our ship started drifting, got caught sideways in the tow rack, and was only removed by the swift application of percussive leverage by the station guns. Rampage and the other following ships dodged the wreckage, scooped up Flossy's dropped cargo on the way past, and waited in the station concourse while she awaited a replacement ship being 3D printed by the insurance company in a handy little cell on a nearby prison ship. The guards were awfully nice when they let her out, probably that she gave them some of the snacks she had secreted about her spacesuit while waiting for a release. What originally appeared to be a fuel rat and no-fuel disaster, bringing her systems offline, was later to be proven not to be the case. With the loss of fuel, it would have left her ship drifting and unable to manoeuvre without a quick synthesis of more fuel. A lack of breathlessness or a purple face led investigators to another conclusion. Supercruise overdrive was a culprit. Well, inaccurate application of Supercruise overdrive. It turns out that in her eagerness to beat Rampage to the mission hand-in, Flossy had gunned the drive to such an extent that a number of critical systems on her ship had caught fire and then failed entirely. By critical systems we mean the autodock. It turns out that a 95,000 light-second loop of shame has caused enough damage that the docking computer says no. And between turning it on, realising that it was in small bits, and working out which docking pad she was aiming for, it was all too late. Commanders, be aware, if you're using Supercruise Overdrive, if you overdo your overdrive, you too might end up in a prison ship with an expensive rebuy. Always check for damage before you try docking. You'd hate to realise you'd got no landing gear or thrusters or life support.
With Shinrata Desra successfully defended by me last week, and the Thargoids routed from whence they came, I'm happy to report that Jameson Memorial Station is nearly back to normal. Evacuees have been making their way back to the station, and Red Planet taxis have been assisting Apex with their repatriation for a fee. The station itself remained miraculously undamaged in the assault, with none of the major station sectors reporting even slight damage. It appears that the Thargoids weren't interested in the station, only the ships and pilots in nearby space. Was this a form of blockade designed to keep pilots busy, and their anti-Xeno ships unavailable for attacks on the last few remaining Titans? Was it a delaying tactic while Tharg the Mighty and his or her mighty minions came up with a plan to extricate themselves from the sticky situation that they found themselves in? Without access to a Thargotron translator, or any means to actually speak to representatives of the Thargoids, we will probably never know, but the resource cost on Tharg's war machine has been profound. With only a smidge shy of 1 million of their ships destroyed in the invasion, we are left wondering whether Thargoid insurance policies cover third-party fiery destruction. Are the Thargoids similar to humanity, with the vast majority of their combat forces independent agents, or are they more akin to the military of a major galactic power? At the station itself, we can report that the snack machines are now fully stocked once again. McThargoid's local branch once again has a broken McStiffy machine. We were all worried that the attack might have brought it online. And the shipyard is fully stocked with everything once again. We have asked as to why major stations like this aren't fully equipped with anti-Xeno weaponry, giving stations the ability to defend themselves against Thargoids as easily as they can against marauding pirates or ships stuck in the docking bay. But apparently all available anti-Xeno weapons are being reserved for the offensive, and none have been kept back in reserve to defend key installations. We view the Thargoid invasion as a temporary thing, and as such the investment in heavy-duty anti-thyroid weaponry on an essentially immobile location is inefficient, said a Sirius source. Until such time as we can pull a jacks and fit all our stations with jump-capable drives, there's no point arming them to that extent. Relying instead on fleets of commanders and local security forces to repel any invaders is a far better idea.
Concerned listeners have been writing into to this station over the last week expressing their worries that something had happened to Beetlejude and Wotherspoon. Those who tuned in last week expecting the usual opening music and mellifluous tones were shocked to hear a new theme tune and a pair of rather enthusiastic individuals discussing the merits of the new Mandalay starship. During the broadcast itself, the normal radio presenting team, that's us, immediately contacted Galnet News Digest HQ for reassurances that A, Beetlejude and Wotherspoon hadn't turned into Galaxy-class impersonators, and B, they hadn't been kidnapped by Cubicle 3-class Beetlejude and Wotherspoon impersonators. What is quite clear from the transmission is that whoever these two individuals were, they'd definitely been at the performance enhancers, and cans of whatever 3310 sells as the equivalent of Happy Pills and Red Bull. Commander Wotherspoon did let us know that as part of their broadcast charter, a bit like with Formula 1, they're obliged to allow interns to occasionally take the reins, just like Hutton does most weeks. And as part of the internship agreement, the usual presenters get a week off and hand over music, writing and performance duties to their new interns. Unfortunately, what they did not see on the application forms for the most recent pair was their recent work history, as if it had been included, it would have been noticed that both of them were senior marketing assistants from Zorg and Peterson, who had been seconded in a most sneaky fashion to broadcast outlets to promote their latest ship. The two miscreants were understood to have been let go by the Galnet News Digest, though Commander Wotherspoon is keeping the details on file in case he wants another week off at any point. Though next time he'll be penning the words to ensure that they're suitably cutting and incisive and a little less overabundantly enthusiastic. As for the unnamed ninja advertisers, they've gone back to their day job and have infiltrated the concourse advertising department of the Brewer Corporation. Expect to see effusive adverts for the Mandalay hanging in a bar near you sometime in the near future.
Welcome to the Hutton BGS bit, where we wander through the forest of Hutton systems, kicking up piles of BGS leaves to see what's under them, before being chased away by an angry badger. Well, I never thought I'd see the day we have no systems with more than 60% influence. Jings, that's taking the wind out of my sails. Well, let's see if I can find something else to occupy me. Booms. There's always booms, and this week is no exception. Wolf 359, Van Manen Star, Epsilon Eridani, Treppin 36 Ophiuchi, Epsilon Indy, Barnard Star, LHS 450, Wolf 1481 and Ross 47 are all booming this week. The investment continuance is WISE 08550714 and there's an infrastructure failure in Wolf 25. Oh dear. There is an election in Carnoek where we could win a lovely facility, and there's another going on in LHS 3531. And we are in retreat from GD 89-32. It was crap anyway. Retreat also from BR Piscum, also crap. And we're in a war with Luyten 374-14 prison colony in the Renses. But what does it all mean? Well, your guess is as good as mine. But if you want to truck it, then I'd say that infrastructure failure in Wolf 25 needs some attention. Bring in food and machinery. You can also help out with the election in Carnoek. And if you want to shoot it, then go over to the Renses and shoot those prisoners. They can't move very fast with that big ball and chain attached to their ankles, so, go on, enjoy yourself. And that's it for this week's Hutton BGS bit.
Thank you very much, everybody. It was nearly seamless there.
Nearly.
Ever so nearly, yeah. It wasn't bad, was it? I mean, Amelia would be
Very light on
proud.
seams.
If it had been actually seamless, somebody would have thought we'd been replaced by pod people.
Yes.
Or interns.
Well,
Yeah,
and
or interns.
yes. Well, this is here you go. Look, shock picture. This is the apology officer looking shocked at having no seams.
Hang on a minute.
What?
I'm not on the Twitch. I need to come and see it.
Oh, right, okay. I'll leave it on screen for a minute. There we go.
Oh, yeah, shocker. What is that behind me?
That's what. What on earth is going on? Right,
That was a seam, I think.
that's a seam, and that's one of the vintage spacesuits behind you.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Completely inflated.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, well, we'll go back to a picture of the outside of the orbital. I get dizzy looking at this one a tiny bit. So, yes, it's us. We don't have Amelia with us this week because, as it says on screen right now, she's feeling a bit off colour and stuck in cubicle 3. That was actually a visual pun that was on screen just then. So, was there another Frontier live stream this week?
No, there wasn't.
No?
No.
When do we have to wait till?
We have to wait till last Wednesday of the month.
Which is that before or after we get the new stuff? That's a week and a bit after we get all the new stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're going to drop the new stuff on us, not do a live stream telling us anything about it, and say go fish. They're just sort of throwing us into the ether and say, go on, work it out for yourselves.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Well, like the last several
Gives
hundred
them time
times.
to
Yeah.
patch it.
Yeah, just work it out yourself. Go and do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a thread somewhere by somebody. Maybe I don't know. Who is it?
There'll be something somewhere by somebody. Yeah.
Well, I suppose if you're talking about the Pilots Federation forum, there's always the good Ian Doncaster who's always on top of squadrons, BGS, how everything works. So
I was thinking more about
probably
the official announcements.
Paul Crowther.
Oh, right. I thought you were talking about commanders figuring out how Power Play 2 is going to work.
Oh no! Is it Paul Crowther? Thank you, Flossy, for that one.
Yeah.
He's sort of taken over from doing sort of Sally's old patch notes, hasn't he, and answering questions in a most sarcastic fashion.
I think he sounds quite good.
Yeah, no, Mr. Crowther is he's very good. Decent fella,
Yes.
Okay, so in the absence of that one, I suppose we've got a bumper set of space news. Well, we had a special guest presenter last week, which was Little Grey. And he's sort of taken it to heart and come back and given us an awful lot of space news. So let's play the theme tune for the space news.
While shirking in the chat.
Well, shirking. Well, no. Apparently, he's reupholstering the inside of his residential suite here over at Hutton Orbital, and apparently he's had to move all the furniture out of the way so that the carpet fitters can come in. But which involves in 0G unvelcroing all the furniture from the floor and sliding out the door and dismantling those IKEA cabinets without busting them, which, as we know, is absolutely impossible, so that they can reupholster the inside of his padded cell. Anyway, so let's play the space news. Here we go. Space news.
When you don't know where to get more space news, 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 space news.
I still think floor mopping guy looks epic in that picture. And there's Alan the Aardvark and some of his mates. And you can actually see Vulkarius prepping down in the bottom right-hand corner for whatever Vulkarius is prepping for. I can't tell whether he's flying the space combat behind. It's a secret? Okay. Shh, don't tell anybody. So the first one of our space news is... we've been talking about SpaceX quite a bit on the show, and they sent up a rescue pod up to the ISS to rescue those people and whatever else. But it sounds like they've got more earthly problems at the moment. So the first one is all about... it's okay. Oh, no, it was transparent. It's now not transparent. There we go. Crikey, that was a close-up view of Alan the Aardvark's very buff chest. So, yes, it sounds like the FAA, the FAR, have told SpaceX to go off a little bit, and they need to operate at the highest levels of safety. Now, there's a note here from Little Grey. The FAA, who apparently won't let two Christian pilots fly together in case the rapture comes, tells...
Is that in case it takes the two of them at once and leaves the capsule empty?
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
They've told SpaceX they're not safe enough, but they're a lot safer than Boeing, as far as we can tell. No, we don't want that video. No, go away, video. There's a video. Go away. Right. So they have put together a $633,000 fine for violating agency rules ahead of 2 launches last year. Apparently they don't have a whistleblower program. That's what it is.
This is so petty. This is like, what are they doing?
Yep. And then they also said they launched without a permit. So even though the people up at the ISS needed their pot noodles and...
The FAA should have to apply to SpaceX for a permit.
Yes.
The without a permit thing was a bit of a technicality. The launch was done in a very slightly different manner to the way the permit was specified. It was at a different pad at the same complex or something like that. It was a relatively minor thing, but there was something that didn't perfectly match, therefore they didn't have a permit.
Right.
Yeah.
But they've also
they had a permit, but not to do what they did.
Yes, they did it slightly differently. They counted down from 6, not 5. But apparently there's a delay in the forthcoming Starship 5 launch because SpaceX has not done a timely sonic boom analysis. That's timely, not tiny. And the FAA have said, well, no, we're not even going to get round to looking at this application until late November. Which...
What is there to analyse? Yep, that was a sonic boom. Tick.
Yes. But they
how big of a sonic boom was it? Ooh, it's about that
sized.
That size. Yeah.
Well, apparently the delay of the Starship launch actually had to do with SpaceX, as it says here, filing an application, and they didn't disclose they were in violation of Texas and federal law on some matters. When he was asked, this chap, about how SpaceX could move up the launch, he said complying with the regulations would be the best path. That's a no shit Sherlock kind of answer.
Yes. So that is an arm of the American government then? The FAA?
The FAA, yeah.
Yes.
Aviation Authority.
The federal...
it's the Aviation Authority, but they somehow have taken on that responsibility, if you can call it that.
Yeah,
but the thing that gets me is
the air to get to space.
Yeah, but the thing that gets me is they're supposed to be a government organisation, so they are secular. So why are they having this rule about 2 pilots?
Well, no. The US government isn't secular. Read the currency.
Oh.
Even the dollar bills say, "In God we trust."
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the complaint from SpaceX, was that Boeing aren't subject to the same oversight, and they're allowed to launch stuff that's unsafe. So let's have some level playing field, please.
Fair enough.
That's because Boeing have filled out the paperwork to say their stuff is unsafe, so they've got a permit to do an unsafe launch of an unsafe craft.
Yes.
If I was, so bloody mindedness would probably take over if I was Musk. I would say, right, you know that rescue in February? No, we're not doing that anymore. Go.
Yeah, somebody else can do that. Aye.
Yeah, like that's. I'd want to. Like, you can't just annoy the guy. Like you've got your guys up there and then coming back if you.
Yeah, you're relying on him. You're relying on him.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Sorry.
I think the other option is go to the Russians. Yeah, go on.
They did do that, didn't they? Come back down in a Soyuz capsule recently.
No, the Russians came down in a Soyuz capsule.
Russians and one.
I think there was one.
Yes,
one other. Yeah,
I'm not going to say American because it might have been Canadian. I haven't checked.
But an astronaut. Yeah,
a person. Yes, came back.
A non-Russian person.
Yeah, 2 cosmonauts and an astronaut.
I believe that NASA's still got a couple of tickets for seats on Soyuz to use up.
They've already paid for them, yes.
Yeah. They've still got a couple of people to send up and bring down.
Anyway, talking about Boeing and SpaceX and being safe, our second article this evening is also from this same website, and it's all about... Hang on a second. There we go. It's loaded in properly. So the FAA has now grounded Falcon 9 after a second stage malfunction. So they've actually found something unsafe. So, yes, the second stage Falcon 9 rocket, this is the absolute workhorse, the Falcon 9 rocket. This is the one that's been sending absolutely everything up for quite a while now and has, to date, proven pretty reliable. Anyway, apparently on its deorbit burn, it didn't relight its engine, and that's unsafe. And they didn't fill out the paperwork to say it was unsafe, probably. But there were no injuries, there was no property damage, and there were no consequences apart from the booster landing in the Pacific Ocean outside the designated safety zone that the FAA had approved. But it didn't hit anything. It might maybe a dolphin or something, but not anything human-related. But yes, it landed the booster outside the targeted area, which is obviously unsafe. So they've been grounded just in case, I don't know, next time it lands on a small Pacific island or something.
It's kind of looking like nobody's coming home in February, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it does seem that the FAA are doing... admittedly, yes, it was an accident, there needs to be an investigation, but the FAA seem to be, I don't know, putting a spanner in the works at every opportunity. This is not the first we've heard about it, that the FAR have been interfering.
Is this something about wanting Boeing to win contracts or something?
Or renegotiating the price of things? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, a bit closer to home, the next news article is about something in Hutton space.
Mm-hmm.
Does somebody else want to take this one? Hang on a second. I'm loading it up on screen now from the same website again. Boom. Anybody got that one? Small rocky planet detected in orbit.
About Barnard's Star. Now, if they don't call this Winner's World, I'm going to be very upset.
Winard's World.
Winner's World.
They've called it Bernard B.
Hang on, I'm looking up on Inara to see whether there is actually one. There must be.
That needs an actual name.
Barnard's Star. Here we go. So what does Barnard's Star actually have? We just need to educate these people. Bodies. Here we go.
Yeah. So it's 6 light years away. According to this, it's 6 light years away. So it's the closest single star. Although Alpha Centauri's system is closer, but it's not a single star.
Okay. Well, it says that they've found a rocky world that's about 40% the mass of Earth. So let's have a look. We have got Barnard's Star 1, which is a high metal content world. Mm-hmm. Barnard's Star 2, which is a water world. They obviously didn't find that one. Barnard's Star, or the third one, Cook, it's called. Earth mass is 0.004. That's not good enough.
No, that's teeny toty.
Well, it is a rocky world, though. I've got it open in the
system. Birmingham world.
Birmingham world.
Yeah, that's 0.1 Earth masses.
Yeah, well, we're talking about mass, not size, though, aren't we?
What was the original? They said a rocky world. How big? Oh, with the mass about 40%. Right.
So mass about 40%.
I'm just having a look through the list. There's an icy body. There's some small ones. No.
You've only got some. Oh, I see. Yeah, you do have little moons around the gas giants, but I think.
Yeah, I'm having Earth masses. No.
What are the gas giants for Earth masses? Because it might be made out of marshmallow.
It's 492 Earth masses. So we think they've got the calculations wrong. We think they're probably looking at, or maybe at Cook, though that's a bit small.
Yeah, Cook.
Maybe it's Barnard's Star 1, which is actually 1.2. This could be it, right? 1.2 times the Earth's mass, but that's because it's high metal content, not rocky. So maybe they misclassified it.
Yeah.
Possibly.
It's still going to have a lot of rock in it if it's high metal content. Maybe they can't find high metal content burrows just yet.
Oh, this one, this one says it's orbiting very close to Barnard's Star.
Yeah.
Alternatively,
Barnard's Star 1.
Alternatively, in 3310, that Barnard's Star A belt could be the remains of the planet after the accident.
Could be.
Yeah.
There's also very strong hints of 3 other planets.
Yeah, after the nuclear accident, I think that's it.
Yeah, after the Death Star incident.
Well, it does have 3 other planets. Well,
after the unfortunate docking incident.
Yes. What were they trying to dock? A star.
Just having a look. It says it's 200 and something Fahrenheit surface temperature. No, you see, they've got it all wrong. I'm looking through here. They've got all the numbers wrong. So they need to go back and point their Tenerife-mounted telescope back at Barnard's Star and get it right. It could just be a Type 9 in orbit.
Yeah. Type 9s aren't out yet. Too early.
Well, I don't know, timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's I was going to say maybe it's slingshot round the sun. Put itself up to 200 metres a second.
Is that fast enough to cross Australia in 30 seconds?
Shut up.
Right.
Well, it is. It is if you. So apparently, a Type 9 can cross the 4 megameters of Australia in 30 seconds, as long as you've engineered it correctly and you've got the skill. So, like, it's a skill issue, according to Amelia Hawke. So.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with that expert analysis. I mean, I've done mine. I've got dirty drag drives on mine. So,
Grade? Are they grade? Do you need grade 5 or grade 6? I'm pretty sure you need grade 7. Only grade 8 will do it.
Grade 8, yeah. I need to get back. I need to get back and make friends with engineers again and bring them really, really big boxes of cigars and things like that. But how difficult can that be? It'll be fine.
Right.
Anyway, if you can make
Last
the timeline go faster, I'm getting one.
Well, there's something you could go round. I mean, the thing is, they were saying about the moon and crossing it and the width of Australia, but Pluto's not very big, and Chiron's even smaller, isn't it? I haven't actually checked.
I call it Charon.
Let's see. CH. I think it'll be Charon.
It'll be Chiron. Yes.
Charon, Chiron. I heard it called Sharon as well, which I didn't like.
No.
Was it
definitely Sharon?
Yeah.
However the Greeks pronounce their deities, it'll be that.
Well, the Greeks pronounce it like a K. See, a CH in Greek is pronounced like a K. So
it'll be the letter Chi, won't it?
Yes, which is why chaos is pronounced chaos and not chaos.
Yeah.
Well, I insist on calling it Charon or Charon.
Karen. I want to see the manager. I want to be a planet.
I want to speak to Karen, please.
Yes. Right. This next one then is the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST.
Yes.
We're fans of that. Apparently, Pluto's moon Karen has gone HD.
Yeah, have a look at the picture though.
It's gone 4K high definition.
So
looks that way.
I'm just reading spherical bodies, yada yada yada. Tell us about the
I can see New Horizons from here.
I can see New Horizons from here. Well, look, I'm just going to put the picture back up. Oh, there it is.
It's a bit egg-shaped, isn't it? I don't know if that's part. I kind of thought it might be because of the shadow underneath, just in the darkness. But looking at the top half,
it's a bit egg-shaped.
It's a bit egg-shaped.
It is, because it looks like the top has had a bit of a bump,
Yeah, somebody's
somebody's landed
teaspoon.
too hard.
Well, I think we'd have to check like the orbit and such, because I know it's tidally locked with Pluto, but if it's really, really close, it could be spinning really quickly to do that. So
yeah, it's also apparently, according to this, it's the largest moon relative to the size of its parent planet in the solar system. Except Pluto's not a planet, but So,
I was just looking. Actually, I'm looking at a. If you look at a Chiron, actually, from our starships, it's got that same bump taken out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, they've got that bit
orbital.
Right.
So Charon's orbital period around Pluto.
I want to see the manager.
It's 6.4 days, which is actually pretty fast.
That's pretty nippy.
That's its year. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you think about it, Pluto's not that big. It's not a lot. There's not a lot of Pluto to go round.
It's
but if it's the point was, if it's doing one revolution, a tidally locked revolution every 6.4 days, then that's a revolution on its own axis every 6.4 days.
Yeah.
So it should be fairly egg-shaped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's much smaller than Australia. I'll tell you that for free.
I look at it as well. It's different. It's different. The bottom half's different for the top half. I was going to say geologically it's different, but then I thought, you don't know about geology. The bottom half's smoother.
Smacked one half. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just had to check the barycenter of the Pluto Charon system is actually not inside Pluto. So it's so big in proportion that they are both orbiting a common point that is somewhere between the two.
Yeah,
it's like that on the system map, which I've just opened as well.
It's actually the Pluto Charon system is apparently it's a dwarf double planet. It's a pair of dwarfs, not one with a moon.
Yeah,
just watch out for Snow White and 5 more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but Charon is slightly less dense than Pluto. It says.
Yeah, Pluto. Well, the galaxy map. Pluto has 2.2 thousandths of Earth masses, whereas Charon looks like 0.3 thousandths of Earth masses.
Yeah, I mean Pluto's apparently 70% rock, and whereas Charon's only 55% rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably got a lot of ice.
Yeah, the
and
rest
things
is
in it.
metal, clearly.
Yes. Yeah. But there is that. I mean, there's that lumpy, bumpy bit on the top, and then it goes all kind of smooth a bit further down, as if somebody's peeled the skin off it, or peeled the shell off of it since it's egg-shaped. I like it.
Yeah, so we're fans of Charon, yes?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay, do we have any more space news before we blunder into the next bit and go and listen to Vulkarius telling us, have we defeated the Thargoids yet, and that kind of stuff, and a bit more rock? Are you 70% rock, Vulkarius, or are you 55% rock?
Or
are you very metal?
Yeah, more metal than rock. So you can flip that to 30 to 45, and the other 70 to 55 will be metal. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You haven't done the outro yet, have you?
No. So let's get rid of the space news.
You don't know where to get more space news, 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 space news.
And from one rock to another, here is Vulkarius's bit.
We're flying high in the black face, the Thargoid threat. Vulkarius leads the way, no fear, no regrets. Guides our Titan's breath, saving humankind. Together we'll defend, never fall behind. Whoa, keep your lasers flare. Whoa, Vulkarius is here, fight the onslaught. No fear tonight. Whoa, Vulkarius lights the fight. Across the stars, our mission so clear. Vulkarius stands tall, there'll be no fear. Navigates the void with his screw so tight. In the darkest space, he's our guiding light. Whoa, keep your lasers lit. Whoa, Vulkarius is here, fight the onslaught. No fear tonight. Whoa, Vulkarius lights the fight.
After last fortnight's Ill-Willy invasion interlude involving a Shinrata Destra in diversion from the main drive, and the enthusiastic ingress of war-capable commanders, including many new recruits following the community goal, Titan Raijin took a resounding and slightly Rabelaisian racking and ruination to its remaining systems. It is approaching the end, and we are closing in on that vulnerability zone. The galaxy map reports 37 systems. 3 of those are invasions and 2 are heavily damaged spire sites, so really we're talking about another 32 systems protecting it. But if you recall, Titans go vulnerable at 3 control or fewer. That means we only need 29 progress to break out the nanite torpedoes again. And that means there's no time to lose. If you're building a Titan ship or plan to do so in time for Raijin, you need to buff up that bug-blasting boat now-ish. Exactly how long you'll have to prepare could vary a bit. The reason is those 2 remaining spire sites have taken a lot of damage already. Pegasi Sector IH-U B3-4 and KC-U B3-4 are at 80% and 10%. So in terms of war progress, we have in effect only a little over 1 spire site available. That being the case, vulnerability in 1 week will be quite a stretch, but narrowly possible. Vulnerable in 2 weeks is definitely the most likely outcome, especially if Titan Raijin buys back more spires. It could scrape by with 4 or 5 control systems, so 3 weeks has an outside chance, but it's probably going to be 2 weeks. So definitely keep an eye on progress, and for any notes in the Thargoid War thread at the Pilots Federation forum, which suggests we'll have it sooner. Following the clean sweep last week, we have only 1 reactivated port this week, which is at HIP 116360. I suggest retaking that system first, especially after taking kill missions from the alert system right next to it. which will help the alert as well. Then it's just a case of clearing the 3 invasions, using up the last of those spire sites, then hitting the conflict zones and as many of that wall of unpopulated control systems as possible. And that's it.
Ooh. Okay, Vulkarius. One thing I haven't asked for a while is how are we doing on our timetable? How is your Predictatron doing?
Again, how do you mean? What's the question?
Okay, well, when is it all over and done with? I mean, are we going to hit? We're not going to hit the. We're not going to hit the.
I'm not sure about that. So, as I said, we've got close enough to 30 odd systems for the next Titan. Probably, if it's a couple of weeks, that'll bring us the week of the Mandalay releasing. It'll probably be dead before then, so it'll explode, and then you can probably watch it using the Mandalay, maybe.
Right, from Power Play 2, yes.
Oh yeah, Power Play 2 will be out way before Titan Casio, which has 170 odd systems. So you're looking at
Christmas.
It could be, yeah, it could be. It'll pass the 2, so it's October now. When we hit December, that'll be the 2-year mark. So yeah, maybe around there. It really depends if we run out of. Well, it's going to run out of spire sites, so we'll be relying on the Thargoids to buy some more. But if they do, it could be around Christmas or New Year thereabouts. Yeah.
Okay,
that would be good. That would be good. If our victory is on Empire Day, which is the 2nd of January, that would be perfect.
Well, I mean, it's up to you now to engineer that to happen. Like telling people, whoa, slow it down a tiny bit, that kind of thing. Don't hit it yet,
Yeah, Akanar still loading the fireworks.
Yeah, yes. And obviously a big party. I'd imagine and if we do beat the Thargoids, there's got to be a giant galactic party with cake and hats and all that sort of stuff. And we've got to have time to prepare for it because it's bound to be a CG.
But not cheese, apparently. Apparently,
no cheese.
I'm guessing this is LCU's fault, but entirely on account of avian cheese, they had to ban all cheese.
There's no cheese in the galaxy.
But what happened to cheese before avian cheese?
It went away apparently, but that's why they have to use the yellow crumbs off the landing pads. You have to use the crumbs, the latex crumbs, and make them yellow and use them for the Belshare bit.
Okay, I mean if they're cheesy enough. I mean I thought those were cheesy It's packing material. They just took the little white packing material and painted it cheesy.
They could have done that. No, that was just in our intro for British Food Week. We were saying that that's what they had to use instead of cheese. But it's still better than vegan cheese.
And it's still better than American cheese. All American cheese, yes. Which usually comes in a can.
Yeah, I was going to say even the stuff in the aerosol can.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no such thing as American cheese. There's American cheese-like product.
Yes. That may have met a cow once in passing.
No, usually not.
Yeah. Made with real vegetables or something. It's probably made with squash or something. Don't Americans make things out of squash? Anyway, right. Well, thank you very much for that, Vulkarius. I suppose about do your end tune as well, and then after your end tune, we've got stuff. And hang on a second. I'm just looking through the script because we've got Amelia missing. Is everybody prepared to cover stuff? Flossie.
Yes.
Flossie.
I'm prepared.
Flossie.
Yes,
I've got stuff.
ready.
And who's going to be doing that bit? The space facts bit.
Me.
You're doing that bit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I just wanted to double check.
Unless you want an aardvark.
No aardvarks. Right, end of Vulkarius' bit. Hang on, Vulkarius, you can sit down again now. Hang on. Here we go.
Oh, thank you.
He's gone back to his ice world, where he lives, to hang out with the other geezers. Or is it geysers?
Sharon.
I want to see your manager. Right. Flossy, over to you.
Go.
Okay. Do we have a word of the week this week?
We do have a word of the week, and the word of the week this week is loquacious.
And what does it mean?
It means tending to talk a great deal. Talkative.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Just you watch me go. Gusto the Clown was very loquacious until station security arrived.
Well, I'm very glad you didn't take that opportunity to have a poke at me, because that would have been normally where you stick.
That
pins
was
in.
that's low hanging fruit. That's too easy.
Yes. I'm wearing different underwear this week.
Yes, thank God for that.
Too much information.
Am I? Well, at least I'm not in the kilt as usual. Right. Now a special treat. A special treat, because as we've added the Space Facts bit, we thought we'd talk to the Hutton Mayhem Band. So it is going to be time for the Space Facts, but we've got a tune. Shall we?
Yeah. Go on.
Space facts, lots of space facts. What do you know that you need to know? Being from Hutton straight to your brain. Being from Hutton straight to your brain. Being from Hutton straight to your brain.
That makes me think of Happy Days. Anyway, a surprisingly large amount of space debris falls to Earth every day. Some of this is in the form of meteors, which burn up spectacularly in the atmosphere. But around 14 tons of dust falls to the Earth every day, and most of us don't even notice it. Because this dust is made up of tiny particles of rock and metal that have been chipped off of asteroids, comets, either in large collisions or by micrometeoroids. About 80% of the dust originates from Jupiter family comets, which have orbital periods of less than 20 years. Particles are so small, at most a few tenths of a millimetre across, that they're not generally visible to the naked eye and can only be detected using specialised instruments. But every time you're outside, you stand a chance of catching some of this space dust in your hair, except for dead meat, obviously. It's very likely you've already caught some and later washed it out without knowing it. And we have a note from Commander Wotherspoon who says, try using a magnet on any accessible roof or a dry gutter. You'll likely collect a load of tiny ferrous particles of space dust. Some practical science there. And that's it for Space Facts.
Space facts, lots of space facts. What do you know that you need to know? Being from Hutton straight to your brain. Being from Hutton straight to your brain. Being from Hutton straight to your brain.
Wow, 14 tons a day. Is that why Earth sometimes turns around and says, does this dust cloud make my bum look big? Anyway, let's move over to Flossy with the CG News.
It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. And the community goes.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG News. There are no CGs again this week. Sorry.
Oh, we feel sad about that, Flossie.
So do I.
Really sad about that.
Gonna get me cards one week.
Oh, well. Well, I'll tell you what. In the absence of any CGs this week, we thought we'd do something special for you.
Ooh.
So we thought we'd get you up on stage with the Hutton Mayhem Band.
Oh, really?
Right, and here is a picture on screen of Flossie up on stage with her guitar as part of the Hutton Mayhem Band. And there is the Mr. Dusty Bot, who has obviously been responsible for the forthcoming piece. Now, everybody get your lighters out and wave them in the air and don't set the sprinkler off, because this is Flossie's special new tune. And let me just There we go. I've stopped the backing tune. This is a special new tune for you, Flossy, that you can play every time there's no CG. And we're going to keep playing it every week there's no CG until they give us our CGs back.
Oh, God.
Right, so everybody, lighters in the air. Here we go.
No CGs this week, what can I say? Flossy's got no task, no work, no play. The galaxy's calm, no goals in sight. Just sit back and relax, everything's alright. No hauling, no fighting, no tasks to do. Flossy's got no news, it's all up to you. So grab a mug of gin, or maybe two. This week is quiet, no CGs for you. No calls for trucks, no missions to bring. Not a single thing, not a single ping. The stars are quiet, the stations too. Guess it's time to chill, nothing's on cue. No hauling, no fighting, no tasks to do. Flossy's got no news, it's all up to you. So grab a mug of gin, or maybe two. This week is quiet, no CGs for you. Trucks, no missions to bring. Not a single thing, not a single ping. The stars are quiet, the station is too. Guess it's time to chill, nothing's on cue. No hauling, no fighting, no tasks to do. Flossy's got no news, it's all up to you. So grab a mug of gin, or maybe two. This week is quiet, no CDs for you.
There we go, Flossy. Just for you. Your new song, No CGs to Do. Yes.
Very nice, thank you.
Yes. There we go. We give a round of applause for you on stage. We had no idea your singing voice was like that, you know.
Neither did I.
Well, we do that in lieu of your outro music. And for anybody stepping in Litho Breaker in future weeks, that is saved in the folders as well.
Excellent.
Just in case. Right. Now, well, after last week's dastardly do-wrong by the Mandalay Appreciation Society, I do understand we've got a proper Galnet news digest coming up. So, shall we see?
Galnet News Digest, 3rd of October 3310. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, Operation Ida work their wonders for the Pilots Federation. The end is in sight for the Thargoid War, and we exclusively reveal the 4th new flyable ship coming this year.
Planetary stations in the Shinrata Desra system have been restored to normal operation, thanks largely to Operation Ida, the starport repair people. Jameson Base, home to engineer Laurie Jameson, and 6 other planetary bases remained out of action following the Thargoid invasion 2 weeks ago, and only reopened on Thursday the 3rd of October, several days after Jameson Memorial. These bases were nursed back to health by Operation Ida, which supplied 98% of the equipment needed to repair them. A mysteriously large amount of praseodymium was needed, rather more than was available at all the starports in the galaxy, but the Miners Corporation lent a hand. The entire system is functional again, and folks without a proper permit have been chucked out.
There are just over 200 systems left under Thargoid control, and Titan Raijin is beginning to look distinctly wobbly, with only 34 systems left. It's not yet certain that it'll become vulnerable next weekend, but it's looking pretty likely. Make sure you score at least 1 Thargoid kill in each system to keep the supply of materials flowing, and be ready to pop the Raijin heat core next week. The end of Thargoid hegemony is in sight. The Thargoids could never look after their hedges properly anyway.
The Pilots Federation is reported to be on the verge of announcing the latest new ship. Following on from the Python Mark II, the Lakon Type 8 forklift and the Mandalay, the new Thargoid Scout Mark II will be a human flyable ship exclusively available from Salvation Body Mods in the Mbuni system. This fast and extremely nimble little ship is reportedly super fun to fly, but you need to be sure you want to commit. Once you've had the neural implant to let you control the ship, you will be unable to fly any other ship ever again, and you will hear the Thargoid hive mind continuously chittering in the back of your consciousness. Each Scout comes with a free copy of Commander LCU No Fool Like One's Escape from the Cold 70 Sector board game and a Berserker ship kit. It will cost a very reasonable 300,000 arcs.
And that's this week's action-packed, new-stuffed, gluten-free and carbon-neutral Galnet news. Galnet News, we read the news, so you don't have to.
And thank you there to Beetlejude and Wotherspoon. It's good to have them back for the News Digest. Definite indigestion from last week, so it's good to have them back.
Absolutely. Yes, we approve of the legitimate, original, unadulterated Galnet News Digest. It's not the same without a proper Galnet. I mean, we're not criticising what was put on. The effort was great, but it's not the same without that theme tune and Commander Wotherspoon's mellifluous tones, is it?
No. Well,
that's wrapping up for the end of the show. It's sort of a bit of a short one this week. No Amelia and no CGs. Admittedly, we had the tune, which I think our listener appears to have liked. Thank you very much for the compliments. Yes, it was awesome with many exclamation marks, apparently. We've actually sent our camera crew down to look at Mitterrand Hollow and the moon going round and round and round. Yep. Oh, crikey. Hang on a second. Bring Flossy back. Hang on a second. Where's Flossy? And there's, our pictures are missing. There's Litho. And, oh, my goodness. Who have we got missing on that one?
I haven't got my new picture, have you?
No, we haven't got your new picture yet.
Sent it to you.
No, that one. Let's have that. Oh, crikey. I've lost everybody now. We haven't. Oh, there's an Amelia. Have I got a button for everybody? Hang on a second. Let's bring back that one. Who am I missing? There we go. We're
you're missing yourself.
There we go. I'm back. Apparently I'm on a button marked dead meat. Somebody's been having a laugh and shuffling all the cards. The deck was it Hutton Most Wanted cards. Anyway, well, look, thank you very much, everybody. Nice early night. Thank you very.
Yes,
what?
Indeed.
Planko 2?
I don't know what that is. It's been said a few other times previously in the show.
No, I think
It's
maybe
trying to trigger a bot to respond to Planet Coaster
Planet
2.
Coaster.
Okay, so this is Hutton Orbital. This isn't Frontier Unlocked.
Frontier Unlocked wish they were this good. They wish they had these tunes.
The code is
Yeah, they
Planko
don't-
3. Planko 3 exclamation mark.
Planko 3. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose you're playing Planet something with that moon going past regularly, but I suppose it could be a coaster. But no, we're not Planko 2, but we are Hutton 1. That sounds like the no
one,
score
Planko
draws,
2.
doesn't it? Hutton
Sounds
1,
like we lost,
Planko 2. Frontier,
No, Hutton
score draw.
2, Planko 1.
4 for
I heard it-
4 is 5-5.
Yeah, was
4
it
for 4.
4 for 4.
was it Narenzi's whatever one?
Yeah.
Kakari 3. I remember
Yeah,
that one.
exactly. Queen of Kakari.
Hutton 1, the Federation didn't. Yes. Right. Well, look, thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back next week. I don't know who's mashing buttons next week. We wish Amelia well.
Yeah, get well soon, Amelia.
As it says on screen, she's off colour and stuck in cubicle 3. I'm just putting the pun out there again because I can. But I hope Amelia's feeling better soon. Thank you very much to Little Grey for all of our space news. We're looking forward to inviting Little Grey back and maybe getting him on the buttons to add some seams to the show. And other than that, we've got a few more weeks to wait until we hit what's it called? 2 Power Plume 2.
Power Play 2. That's
the
the
one.
22nd of October. So there'll
Power
be
Plume 2.
The day after my
that's-
birthday.
And
Yay.
remember, unless
Power
you're
Planko 2.
unless you're exceedingly rich, don't spend all your arcs on those vintage spacesuits. Save a few up to get your hands on the Mandalay.
Yes. I need to
you've
get
got-
back to Civilization to get my hands on the Mandalay.
So do DSSA carriers, the Deep Space Support Array, do they have shipyards on them?
I'm going to head
Yes.
to...
Because if they do, you can, because when you don't just get access, you get to deploy it wherever you want. So you could
Yeah.
you could just find one of those carriers. Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do is just head to Colonia. I should be able to get to
Mine's got
Colonia.
a shipyard.
It's like the 21st before it's out, isn't it?
It's the 22nd. So
22nd,
that's,
yeah, I should be
that's
able
not this week, not next
Yeah.
week. It's in the middle of the week after on the Tuesday.
I should be back to Civilization,
yes.
but then I'm honk scoop jumping. I'm not properly exploring. I've just done the journey, doing the journey back. So I should be back to Civilization, but then...
And as is usual, of course, we will do, because if it's going to be, it sounds like it's going to be a big patch day when they come up with that kind of thing. So we will be doing our pre-patch usual warning to everybody, which has some important points in it. We will be posting that on the Facebook page and probably on the show from the week before. We will read it out for you.
Back up your keybinds.
Yeah, back up your keybinds because, and everybody says, "Well, I've not lost any yet." Well, there's always a first, and it has been known to happen.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we'll be hearing about the new ship, possibly properly, and also this new feature that did they tout that there was going to be a new feature, or is Power Play 2 the new updated feature?
So there was Arthur did mention that on the Frontier Unlocked, which will be on the 30th, over a week after that patch, that they should be mentioning both the ship and the feature, if I remember correctly.
Right, and so new feature or updated feature, is it going to be VR for space legs? Dunno. Is it going to be on foot combat against Thargoids? Probably not, because they'll all be dead by then. Is it going to be Starship interiors? No, because there's no point.
Well, I think the thing is, so there's no gameplay point, absolutely. If you did though, and you actually capitalized on it and put a whole bunch of stuff in the ARC store that you can hang on the walls, people would. I think there'd be everyone.
I would certainly go and buy a lot.
I want to buy a plushie for my cockpit.
Yeah, or a poster, or it'd be loads.
Yeah, but then all the salt would be complaining about the fact that they were just using it to make money, so they can't win.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's complaints going to happen anyway.
I want to buy a Regency interior for a spaceship.
Is it EVA? I don't know, but I don't know. You'd have to invent something to do with EVA. Is it salvaging? More complicated salvage?
I wonder if it's going to be a new class of planet we can land on.
Oh,
EVA. So
That would
I was
be
thinking that.
if I think back to like, so if you imagine a time before Horizon, so before you could even land and drive around, and you had no idea that that's what was going to be, what the expansion would be. What would you, how would you rate the chances of landing on planets versus EVAs?
Yeah.
EVA is very
much more-
low.
yeah.
Because you have to create a whole new gameplay loops. Landing on other kinds of planets, let's say like those volcanic worlds or something, that's visual assets, but the existing gameplay loops would work.
The point was, I find it kind of surprising that landing on planets made it before EVAs did. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Because it would have been easy, relatively, look at fair and experience a point of view.
Or is it something to do with the
It would have
fighter?
seemed simpler for you to be able to get out and walk about a station than it would, especially that you're only really in the social hub. So that would have been, you think that would have been easier than letting you land and creating whole planets for you to drive around. So yeah, I get your point.
Well, here's the thing: if they're reworking station interiors to have the new layouts and designs for the power play people, clearly there's been a team working on station interiors. So question mark, maybe.
Maybe you can get in the little yellow lorries and drive around.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I kind of wondered, because I remember them talking ages ago, and when I talk about being able to land in a new class of planet, I don't necessarily mean one with like a water world or a volcano world. At one point, they were talking about being able to go gas mining in gas giants, but you would descend into the atmosphere, and it would get increasingly, with high winds and lightning storms and things like that.
That's kind of like the maelstroms. So right now, if you try to fly a Sidewinder, well, maybe not a Sidewinder because you don't have enough utilities, but if you try to fly a too small ship to a Titan, you're going to have some problems. Yeah,
but that was the thing, is that you could go looking for gases and things in the atmospheres, but it would be dangerous,
Space whales.
Well, I was thinking more of, you'd go, gas mining. And you'd be looking for like the giant red spot in Jupiter, because that's a big sinkhole in the atmosphere. So something like that, you'd be able to get down into it and do a bit of gas mining, and then get out before your ship get crushed.
See, that would fit if they got lots of graphic artists doing stuff for interiors and bit. Well, yeah, that might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yet more of my low hanging fruit. Once again.
Again, it could be something that they're capitalising on, like the Maelstrom stuff that they've done with or the stuff, man, the space things. You go into clouds and lightning hits you, and you go into other clouds and there's things living in the clouds and all that kind of thing. That would all fit with a gas giant.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a rework of exobiology, more stuff to find out there in the galaxy.
Yeah, more exobiology, stuff floating in planetary atmospheres, like gas giant atmospheres. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, there's all sorts. Or they could just be making our hired NPC crew do more than just fly fighters occasionally. There could be something to do with their NPC crew. It could be a complete rework of CQC.
I always want a new SRV. And I know we've no long had one, but I want another one.
A mining one. How about surface mining?
I don't even care. I just want one that looks like a big lorry. So that you can go out and just get hundreds of stuff in the back of it and come back.
Space trucks.
Yeah.
Articulated space trucks. So you can actually, we could have Alec Turner and the Buckyball Racers trying to do races in reverse in an articulated space truck.
Driving those vehicles around one of those rotating starports, though, that would be.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All the existing starport assets on planet surfaces. There's something to do in them. I mean, there's these beautiful. I don't know if people listening have ever been down to one of those, but you can drive around them and they're cool and they look great. Or some of the engineer bases, they look awesome when you're on foot or in your SRV, but there's nothing to do.
No, you're going to see the engineer, or you're going to the shops, or you're going to the mission board, and then you leave again.
Yeah, but I mean outside of them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You don't go outside and do stuff in the base, in the sort of vicinity of the base, but outside. You just go to the buildings and leave, kind of thing. Unless you're doing a buckyball race and you go to race around the perimeter. Yeah,
but if you've never been to them, I mean, we did do back in the day some assault the base things where we had to turn off, and there were shield walls and all sorts and things you could do, but it was a bit sterile. It was good fun when there were 20 of us, but it was a bit sterile in terms of there's nothing to not much to do. You could pop the little thingy up and get the data off it, and that's about it. But it wasn't really worth it because you got 1,000 credits, and these days 1,000 credits, you get that from scratching your arse in your spaceship, plus a few arcs.
Do you?
As well. Yes.
Oh, I'm going to do that immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you lose that down the sofa. Anyway, well, so there's exciting stuff coming. Answers on a postcard, predictions on a predictatron, and we shall see what's coming. But over the next few weeks, we'll speculate a lot more until they actually tell us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right, we're getting towards the end of the show, so we tend to go and raid somebody next. So we just need to have a look at who's live at the moment, who needs a bit of a raid. So what we're going to do is play the closing theme tune and then go raid somebody. Let's have a look. Who have we got? No, Thargoid's got loads of people. We're a big fan of Thargoid, but now they've got loads of people. Who else have we got? Blasted Thargoid's Lurker Friendly. That sounds good. That sounds a bit Vulkarius-y, doesn't it?
I was about to ask if Wooly still streams, but yeah, that sounds good.
That's Omnituins. Right, so we're going to go and raid Omnituins. I'm just going to type that in so I don't get it wrong. Hang on a second. Omnituens. There we go. Right, we're going to play the theme tune. We're going to go and do that. Hang around and don't forget to give them a hearty for the mug. And we will see you all next week. Any final words?
Good night.
We haven't got Amelia to yell the thing, so we're just going to say, Aardvark? No, for the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
For the Aardvark.
Aardvark.
No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grain. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. To go cruising to Hutton. Whoa, no journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. Sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everyone's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?